Good morning, everyone. I'm Trisha May Ramos, Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. And for today's topic, I'm going to discuss the phonetic sound segments. So, knowing a language includes knowing the sound of that language, and you also know how to combine those sounds into words. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics that focuses on the production and classification of the world's speech sounds. What are the chapter objectives? At the end of this topic, you should be able to know what is phonetics, identify what is the importance of sound segmentation, and lastly, to learn on how to segment words properly. So to better understand the discussion, let's proceed to the definition of terms. Language. Language is the principal method of human communication consisting of words used in a structured and conventional way and conveyed by speech, writing, or gesture. Orthography, a set of conventions for writing a language, including norms of spelling, hyphenation, capitalization, word breaks, emphasis, and punctuation. Sound. Sound is a vibration that travels through the air or another medium that can be heard when they reach a person's or animal's ear. Phonetic. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics that focuses on the production and classification of the word's speech sounds. Segment. Segment is one of the parts into which something naturally separates or is divided, a division, portion, or section. So to describe speech sounds, it is necessary to know what an individual sound is and how each sound differs from all others. This is not easy as it may seem, for when we speak, the sounds seem to run together and isn't it all obvious where one sound ends and the next begins. However, while we know the language we hear, the individual sounds in our mind's ear are able to make sense of them. Segmentation of the sound of someone who's clearing his or her throat into a sequence of discrete units is not possible. Not because throat clearing is one of continuous sound, but because such sounds are not speech and therefore not able to be segmented into the sounds of speech. English speakers can easily separate the word keep out into two words keep and out because they know the language. We do not generally pause between words except to take a breath, even though we may think we do. A children learning a language reveal this fact. A 2-year-old child going downstairs heard his mother say hold on and he replied, I'm holding down, not knowing where the break between words occurred. In fact, word boundary misperception have changed the form of words historically. At an early stage of English, the word apron was napron. However, the phrase an apron was so often misperceived as an apron that the words lost its initial end. Some phrases and sentences that are clearly distinct when printed may be ambiguous when spoken. Here are some following pairs that we might misinterpret what we hear. Phrase grade A sounded like grade day, while ice cream sounded like ice cream, and the sans rays met sounded like the sans rays meet. The lack of breaks between spoken words and individual sounds often make us think that speakers of foreign languages run their words together, unaware that we do too. And extra motion pictures of someone speaking make the absence of breaks very clear. One can see the tongue, jaw, and lips in continuous motion as the individual sounds are produced. Identity of speech sounds. Our linguistic knowledge allows us to ignore non-linguistic differences in speech, such as individual pitch levels, rate of speeds, and even coughs. For example, if someone coughs in the middle of saying, How are you? A listener will ignore the cough and interpret this simply as, How are you? We are capable of making sounds that are not speech sounds in English but are in other languages. The click "t" or TSK that signals disapproval in English is a speech sound in languages such as Xhosa and Zulu, where it is combined with other sounds just like the T or key in English. The science of phonetics aims to describe all the sounds of all the world's languages as acoustic phonetics, which focuses on the physical properties of the sounds of language, auditory phonetics, that focuses on how listeners perceive the sounds of language, and lastly, the articulatory phonetics that focuses on how the vocal tract produces the sound of language. So the phonetic alphabet, orthography or alphabet spellings, does not consistently represent the sound of a language. Here are some problems with an ordinary spelling. Number 1. The same sound may be represented by many letters or combination of letters. For example, he, people, see, machine, key. They have the same sound for the letter E that is represented by a combination of many letters. Number 2. Same letter may represent a variety of sounds. Example, father, maid, village, many, badly. They have the same letter A that represents a variety of sounds. Number 3. Combination of letters may represent a single sound. For example, shoot, character, coat, deal, and either. These are two letters that can represent a single sound. For number 4, a single letter may represent a combination of sounds. Xerox. Number 5. Some letters in a word may not be pronounced at all, or these are the silent letters. For example, autumn. Autumn with a silent N, sword with a silent W, resign with a silent G, psychology with a silent P, and right with a silent W. Number 6. There are maybe no letter to represent a sound that occurs in a word. For example, cute and use. In 1888, the International Phonetic Alphabet or IPA was invented in order to have a system in which there was a one-to-one correspondence between each sounds in language in each phonetic. Someone who knows the IPA knows how to pronounce any word in any language. So as you can see, this table represents the phonetic alphabet for English pronunciation with different symbols that corresponds the proper sounds that we are going to use for each word. So for the consonants, for example, the sounds of T for till, D for deal, N for kneel, S for steel, and Z for zeal. While in the vowels, we have the sounds of I for bit, E for bait, U for boat, and O for boat, and so on and so forth. Using IPA symbols, we can now represent the pronunciation of words ambiguously. So as you can see, there is the spelling and the pronunciation that we are going to use. So we have the do, tout, rough, boat, true, and wood. So learning and understanding sound segment is important as we live in the 21st century where words are made up of discrete units of sounds which can be changed in essential proper and successful way of reading and spelling. Being able to take words apart, put them together again, and adapt them into a new word or even a nonsense word is a fundamental skill.